Well, man. Those kind of movement explorations can be quite subtle but deceptively deep too. So it's interesting, you know, basically what I've been doing each morning is exploring and just kind of checking in with myself like you saw I did this morning. And honestly, most days it's just been kind of stretching and thinking and mulling. But 4 times, this is the 5th time out of the last 10 days, I've found something in my body that was just interesting, just caught my attention. Today it was just the tightness of C2, my second cervical vertebra. And just saw when I explored that, I found, you know, I was just kind of moving my head from side to side, and I found a spot just here that was a little tighter. And when I pressed against it, that kind of lit up some feelings down in my 11th and 12th ribs in the back and around the top of my liver in the front. So that was something interesting to explore. And so you'll see I just pressed against it really, really gently. And then when the other places lit up, slightly compressed against those places too. So by kind of squeezing down on those places, it allows whatever's going on there to come up to greater awareness. And the 11th and 12th ribs relate to, on the right side for a guy, relate to self-forgiveness, self-acceptance, and the liver relates to life purpose. So, you know, honestly, who knows what it was about, but I'm in a process now of coming back to myself after kind of having not paid attention to my body, my wellness, for the last couple of years in any effective way. So it could well just be a recognition that I've kind of abandoned myself, not taking care of myself the last couple of years, and accepting that and being ready to move on, which would be cool. And the level of intensity, the level of change that I had just then is really what I'm going for now. What I tapped into then could have opened up, I could have taken that into a whole sequence of an hour or more of discovery. There was definitely another piece slightly higher up on the ribs in the back that was engaged and lit up, and if I'd wanted to do a longer exploration I could have gone into that and probably would have gone into some whole deep long process. But really what I'm looking for these days is small pieces of self-awareness, small pieces of change, small insights, much smaller chunks on a really regular basis, so that my goal is A, that I can do this and still have my normal life, my software business, now my blog, my consulting business and stuff. So I'm looking for really small chunks and pieces that support the rest of my life rather than interrupt the rest of my life. And then the other thing is I'm looking for a way of doing this with the small pieces. Now I'll probably take a couple of days to integrate that, and not mentally but in my body and in my awareness, in my emotions, in my movements, figure out what that change means. So my guess is the next couple of days I'll just be stretching out, exploring the mobility of my lower ribs, exploring the movements around my liver here, and exploring the freedom of my C2, second cervical vertebra. Because I want to keep myself in a state where I'm growing and developing, but not so much immersed in that I'm less functional with my work and my life and, you know, my computer business and stuff. So that really is the kind of size of change that I want these days. And then when I'm ready for the next piece, something will come up in a couple of days from now. So I think that's it for now, for today. I'm going to finish my tea, take a shower. I'll probably be quiet for just a little longer, maybe another 10 or 15 minutes, just sitting, letting myself absorb this. The emotion itself was fairly subtle. You know, there doesn't need to be any huge, big catharsis for change. It's actually often the really subtle changes that make the bigger difference, because it's when we're not resisting, when it really is just the change, the process is usually quite organic and easy like that. It's kind of deep but quiet. So I'm pretty happy with this morning. See you tomorrow.